Now, what I want to point out is that the Founding Fathers universally, without exception, emphasized that there is what our speaker last night called a metaphysical foundation to a great civilization. That is a PhD term for spirituality. Metaphysical. You notice how careful he was, and he has to be at the university where he teaches. For him to be able to teach the fundamentals that he is using there, if you were watching carefully, that was the best use of double meaning words that I've ever seen assembled in one talk. It was a magnificent and artistic display of survival on the university level, teaching what we believe without it becoming quite so controversial. If you talk about religion in school or spirituality, you're in trouble. But if it's metaphysics, oh, that's all right. Isn't that amazing? It's all right if it's metaphysics. Well, the Founding Fathers said, they didn't use the word metaphysics, they said, there is a spiritual foundation on which this nation and this Constitution is built, and George Washington said, if future generations do not preserve the spiritual foundation, the structure will fall. That's a prophecy. Now, we want to talk about that because there's great confusion in the minds of a lot of people, including the majority of the Supreme Court, on this subject. The same year that the Founding Fathers wrote and passed the Constitution in Congress, 1787, they passed the Northwest Ordinances in which they talked about schools. And they said, religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. They want schools to do three things. They want them to teach religion, morality, and knowledge. Well, just the second you start talking about teaching religion in school, the number one question is, whose religion? Right? The Founding Fathers' reply is fascinating. They said, everybody's religion. They wanted the universal principles of everybody's religion taught. It took me 2 years to find that. They thought any dimwit would know that. And so they didn't describe it. They didn't define it. They didn't spell out what the universal religion was. They called it the American religion, the universal religion, the common religion of all mankind. And it took me 2 years before I found it, first in Franklin, then in Jefferson, then in Madison, and then I began finding it all over the place. But anyway, they wanted the teaching of religion to be restricted to fundamentals. As Jefferson said, no religious reading, instruction, or excuse shall be prescribed or practiced inconsistent with the tenets of any religious sect or denominations. Now that's pretty tough, to be able to teach ideology that no church objects to. And so I really searched until I found out what they were. Franklin says at the bottom of page 2, here is my creed, and he wrote this just a short time before he died. I believe in one God, the creator of the universe, that he governs it by his providence, that he ought to be worshipped, that the most acceptable service we render to him is in doing good to his other children, that the soul of man is immortal and will be treated with justice in another life, respecting its conduct in this. These I take to be the fundamental points in all sound religion, suggesting that there may be some others that aren't so sound, but if they're sound, they'll at least have these 5 things. Now you'll notice that he has made 5 points. Number 1, the recognition and worship of a creator who made all things, at the top of page 3. Number 2, that the Creator has revealed a moral code of behavior for happy living which distinguishes right from wrong. Number 3, that the Creator holds mankind responsible for the way they treat each other. Number 4, that all mankind live beyond this life And number 5, that in the next life mankind are judged for their conduct in this life. Isn't that interesting? Now, when I was a boy in the schools of Canada, I was taught those 5 things. Today, it's unlawful to teach that in a government or public school. In America, United States, the same restrictions generally apply, although some teachers in their wisdom share these concepts with children. Usually it is not done.